Well, today we could know if Education Secretary Designate Hannah Skandera will finally be confirmed. You see, the state Senate has failed to confirm her ever since Governor Martinez nominated her. Matt has more on how there may be more obstacles ahead for the controversial public education secretary, Matt?
Yes, there could, Elizabeth, but let's start out with what is set to go on this morning. Finally, a confirmation hearing for Ms. Skandera. The Senate Rules Committee has penciled in a confirmation hearing and a vote for her. Now, even if Ms. Skandera is confirmed, she could still have the rug pulled out from under her. As we've told you before, there is a move to eliminate her position. It is headed for a full vote in the Senate. The Senate Judiciary Committee approved a resolution to go ahead and do this, with Democrats in full support of a plan to replace the Education Secretary with a state superintendent who would be appointed by a state school board. Now, Republicans don't like this idea. They're accusing Democrats of playing politics here. And Democrat Michael Padilla says this is about having an experienced educator in the position to lead the state schools, and Ms. Skandera has no regular classroom teaching experience.
This particular individual that's in the role right now has never been a classroom teacher. And while she's a great individual, very professional, and I like her a lot, at the end of the day, when she makes a decision, she's never been in the classroom, so she doesn't really understand what it's like.
It's not going to accomplish what they want it to accomplish. It's a purely political purpose behind it. It's a partisan push, mainly to avoid having to have a vote on the Senate floor as to whether to confirm Hannah Skandera.
The plan to eliminate Ms. Skandera's position is a constitutional amendment, so if both the House and the Senate pass it, voters would get the final say. Elizabeth?
All right, Matt, thank you. Secretary-designate Hannah Skandera has been the head of the State Public Education Department since 2011. Governor Martinez wants to use part of a proposed budget to allow parents and teachers to monitor online how students are doing in school. Yesterday, the governor and Skandera visited an Albuquerque charter school to demonstrate how the parent portal would work. Parents would be able to log on and check on class projects, homework, and attendance. Skandera says parents who don't have a computer won't be left out either.
We will look to see if we can also include a dial-in for phone, so that a parent wouldn't necessarily have to have a computer or access to a computer, but they could actually call in and also receive services.
The governor's proposal would be put aside $1.5 million to fund the project at schools all across the state. Well, there is some good news surrounding the lottery scholarship program.
I guess you could say that would be in the eye of the beholder. Some like this plan to fix it, some don't. This is a plan to fix the troubled program. It is moving forward with bipartisan support. On Friday, the House voted 65-1, approving a Republican Representative Jason Harper's plan. It takes the amount of money in the lottery fund each year and divides it by the number of students eligible, and that determines how much each scholarship is for. That means unless lawmakers chip in more money to the fund, the lottery scholarship probably will not cover full tuition as it does now.
Unfortunately, we can't do that anymore. The fund is bankrupt, but I think this will be a good thing for our students who will now have a little bit of skin in the game.
I, like others, would like to put more money into that fund. But if we don't do that this year, at least Representative Harper's bill gives a fair way to distribute it.
If it's approved, the plan would go into effect next year. The state budget is now on its way to a vote for the full Senate. Yesterday, the Senate Finance Committee unanimously approved the $6.2 billion budget. The hope is this one addresses the main reason the budget stalled in the first place: disagreement about how much control the governor should have over money for education. The panel added $17.5 million for school programs, giving additional money to districts directly, but also allowing them to opt into the governor's reforms. A budget failed in the House last week, with Republicans saying it shortchanged Governor Martinez's school proposals.
A bill designed to bring some major employers, including a multi-billion-dollar factory to New Mexico, is getting bipartisan support. But some say it's a bit controversial because it would cost taxpayers big time. Tesla Motors wants to build the $2 billion factory in the state. The company could decide where exactly as soon as Wednesday. We'll keep you posted on that. The California-based business is trying to increase productivity. Analysts estimate it would bring thousands of jobs wherever it is built. One Wall Street analyst says New Mexico is a top candidate.
We need to get it passed so we can compete. We have a really competitive atmosphere out there with other states.
Republican Senator Stuart Ingalls says the bill would allow PNM to offer discounted power rates to manufacturers to lure them here. But here's where the controversy may be. The bill allows PNM to pay for that incentive by raising your power bill.
Well, imagine this, Albuquerque, the home of a major league sports team. One state legislator says it's time to stop dreaming about this and start making something happen. State Representative Antonio Maestas here, Mo Maestas, is kicking around the idea of getting a major league soccer team to call the Duke City home. In a House memorial, he's asking the governor and Albuquerque Mayor R.J. Berry to explore this possibility. Representative Maestas says the sport is popular in New Mexico, saying more than 20,000 kids play in clubs and leagues, and the Lobo men's team went to a Final Four, and a minor league team here, the Albuquerque Soul, recently set up shop. Mr. Maestas says the Major League Soccer is expanding, and now is a chance to get on board.
They want to do at some point 10 years down the road a 32-team model similar to the NFL, and so we just have to jump into that top 32.
Representative Maestas also wants to see a new 22,000-seat stadium built in downtown Albuquerque to house the team. The city's minor league team begins playing this spring.
Be sure to stay with News 13 for complete coverage of the legislative session. We will keep you updated both on air and online on our website, krqe.com.
Firefighters are continuing to keep an eye on a wildfire on the Isleta Pueblo this morning. The latest from Pueblo Police is this fire. Your video here from Sky News 13 yesterday. The fire is contained, but it is not out. Also, police say the roads and the highways in the area are open. The fire started on farmland about 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon near the Palace West Casino. Then wind pushed it on to the Bosque. Pueblo police say the fire has burned at least 30 acres. That is of last night. Again, the fire is contained, and Pueblo police say they were thinking about drawing down crews last night because they have made progress. No buildings or homes have burned, but there are homes in this area.
We are doing a voluntary evacuation right now. It depends on what the situation of the fire may be later on to where it may be a mandatory evacuation, so we're just preparing for that at this point.
Well, once again, we talked with Pueblo police this morning. They say the fire is contained. It is not out, and all the major roads and highways in that area are open.